no confusion.
Tucson, Peter. Tucson isn't the speediest of the
Happy New Year.
It's like the whole aviation highway.
Thank you. Quick, fast.
Well, it should have been 20 years, 20 years. Because there's supposed to be a bridge. Right. They waited too long.
Right. No, I am too. We don't have water.
Because they have to just open it
I always bring my own, and this is the first time.
Or set up, you have to set up the accounts.
No,
Okay.
like so the new application.
Good, you? Very nice.
Good.
So not as crazy as some in the past.
Maybe. I'm going to ask.
Thank you.
See you.
You did? So it was smaller this year, but that's okay.
Yeah, anything on
Everybody's in good health.
but you guys, I think it's
Right.
But you were saying like, what would be the deadline by when you want the email? Just by the end of this week, and
by the
end of next week, maybe?
But, oh shoot, I forgot water.
That's okay. I have some.
No, we have bottles, I forgot to put them out, yeah.
The end of next week?
But yeah, whatever.
Right, I'll look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do hers.
Thank you. Oh, you have a lot of dates in your brain. January.
I book out my whole life.
Okay, water's on its way apparently. Yes.
15.
I have to go to a college.
What's it?
tournament.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been okay as long as like people were okay waiting for me 2 minutes.
It's the 23rd. Did you say 21st? 23rd?
23rd.
Here, let me.
No, thank you.
Yes, please. Thank you.
You can leave them down if you want. If you don't want to take them back. Yes.
Yeah. It's all relative. Bless you. You were so subtle about it, I wasn't sure it was even a sneeze.
I was trying. Sometimes it's just, sometimes I think I'm subtle and it's like,
Practicing
sounds like something fell, building fell.
Yeah.
First part of March.
That's for me. Yeah.
Because that's what you're supposed to. They say you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to hold it in. It defeats the purpose.
You know what it's gonna
Forgot all about it.
Oh, you know. That's all relative too. Decorum schmeckerum, right?
Sitting down.
Oh, look at you.
Thank you.
I think she should as well, because I never do, but I probably should also. Uh-huh.
Yolanda. Oh, is Cindy on Zoom? Or she have not?
Not on yet, she's supposed to be.
She's the only one, right?
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
I'm out of like practice now.
I sympathize.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The time is 1:02. So welcome back, everybody. Happy New Year, the first meeting of 2026. If we can go ahead and start with roll call, Ms. Barbois.
Jeffrey Anthony. Catherine Arvizu.
Present.
Don Bell.
Present.
Owen Brosanders.
Present.
Cindy Coleman. Lindsay Escalona.
Here.
Luis Gonzalez.
Here.
Red Morrow.
Here.
Raghu Nandan.
Present.
Peter Norquist. Tiffany Rogers. Sophia Blue. Erica Miranda Carter.
Present. Thank you. Are there any agenda adjustments, any requests for agenda adjustments? Okay, moving on to call to the audience. Ms. Arisu will read the statements.
At this time during the meeting, members of the audience may address the Bond Oversight Committee in regards to an item of concern in person or by sending their written comments to be read into the record. During the audience call, the Bond Oversight Committee chair or vice chair will recognize speakers and maintain order by setting appropriate limitations. Any person desiring to speak shall provide their full name and topic on a call to the audience card. When addressing the Bond Oversight Committee, the speaker should begin by stating their full name and topic. Speakers are encouraged to be brief. The maximum speaking time is 3 minutes. Individuals attending the meeting and/or addressing the Bond Oversight Committee should observe the rules of propriety and good conduct and refrain from impertinent or slanderous remarks. TUSD serves students from all ages, so speakers should be aware that children may be present. At the end of the audience call, the Bond Oversight Committee chair will ask if an individual Bond Oversight Committee member wishes to respond to a speaker's criticism, ask staff to review a matter, or ask that the matter appear on a future agenda. By law, at most 2 Bond Oversight Committee members can address a single issue raised during the call to the audience. We have one call to the audience that was submitted from Chelsea Duran. The subject is Catalina Track Field. I wanted to see where we were with the bond and Catalina having their track and turf redone. The last TUSD board meeting had Dr. Trujillo putting up a motion for our track to be moved to the top of the list as it has been condemned for the last 4 years. Thank you, Chelsea Duran, Athletic Director at Catalina High School.
Thank you, Ms. Arbizu, and thank you, Mr. Duran, for sending in your letter. Is there anyone who would like to comment anything on? No? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. Item 4.01, approval of, that's Dr. Carter, the bond project updates.
Can you hear me? Okay, awesome. All right, we can go ahead and start with the presentation. I echo Happy New Year. This is our first meeting of the year, and I'm super excited. All right. All right, we're gonna go through our grounding. That'll be very brief. Project status, bond communications, and key updates. And just remind everybody, this is a collaborative effort. Whatever we can do to help in understanding, where we are, what we're doing, just let us know. And you can send emails to Yolanda if you have questions, so we can address ahead of time. So just let you know. There's this over here on this screen, if we can, Yolanda. Okay, I have a hard copy. All right, there we go. So you guys do have the status updates with the red, yellow, green report, so you have access to the status of the reports. But I do want to always provide a few highlights of projects, because we talked about if there's a delay, we want to know about it and why. So as you guys know, the domestic water line from last year with Sabino, we ran into issues because the state fire marshal didn't approve the items in enough time, so this had to be moved out because there are a certain amount of things that we don't want to do to impede the instruction and in the classroom. And so what the contractor and TSD did was to schedule, kind of like what we did in Rincon, over breaks. And there's certain things that's happening now, but there's certain things that need to happen over breaks. We are following up. My understanding, we do have a critical path items on just more than just Sabino with easements. So for the reclaimed water and the domestic reclaim at Sabino, so that's in legal right now, and then also with Camp Cooper. So the idea is to do some work during the rodeo break And if you guys watch the Facebook page, they're working all the time. But specifically, rodeo break and spring break is hopefully where the on-site construction will be complete. But that's dependent on getting these easements. So there's, some critical path items that we need to take care of. On the and the HVAC kitchens are complete. Security gates and fencing, as you guys remember, we had 32 of the fences that we approved all at once. I feel like we probably should have gave more time because that project, you're working with a lot of vendors, there's a lot of moving parts, and then at one point we actually had internally some things that were slowing down, which we have since pretty much fixed. A lot of that is about process improvements. I'm really working with the teams on that.
Excuse me, Dr. Carter? I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but we're going to have to restart all over again.
Just the PDF.
Just the PDF.
Just because we have to restart the Zoom. Cindy Coleman joined online.
Okay.
And no one was on there, so it ended because of inactivity. So just give us a minute.
I'm so sorry. I didn't want you to keep going.
Where is my fan?
All right.
So, this is one of the things that I do. Don't expect things from me. But this is actually a tool that I use for positive reinforcement. I actually did it because there's a song that's Boots on the Ground, so I learned it from my family and learned to dance. And so I wanted to, anyway, at our barbecue. And so I had this, so if someone answers questions correctly at our big meetings, I give them a fan. Well, some people it's scary.
Yolanda,
You ready?
no, not yet.
Okay, anyway. And so when I don't bring the fan, then people
Well, I'm
miss.
Cindy, can you hear us okay? You're on Zoom. I mean, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
So she misses it.
You're still on mute.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
You bet.
Well, anyway, so I spoke at Smart Chief. I don't know if I told you guys that they asked me to be a speaker at Smart Chief, which is project management software, about what we're doing. And so I had about 100 people in the class, and they wanted to know how we are doing our bond, and they thought it was amazing. And I talked about how using Smart Chief with getting the reports to you guys and how it's a part of the conversation. Well, anyway, I weaved in the fan. So when I was at the conference, everybody's like, yeah, hi, Dr. C, hi, Dr. C, because of the fan. But it really is a tool. Okay. So start at slide 1. Is that where I'm going back to? Am I starting
So
here?
we can go all the way back. Well, unless Cindy, she couldn't hear anything, so. Quick review?
Okay, my name is Dr. Charlotte Carter, the bond program manager, and I'm glad to be here today. We're going to go over grounding, project status, communication, and key dates. We already know that with grounding that we are collaborative. I just want to remind you guys, if you do have questions ahead of time, don't feel free to give them to Yolanda so she can get them to me so we can get you guys answers ahead of time. I wanted to give a few updates on domestic water line with Sabino. Right now, there are a couple of critical path items, which is some easement review with our legal for the reclaimed water and the domestic water line. And then also, we want to try to get legal to review the Camp Cooper as well. So those are some items we need to get completed. The construction at Sabino is continuously happening, but there's certain construction we need to do over breaks. So during the rodeo break, which I had never heard about that until I came here, we don't have Tulsa rodeo breaks. I'll take it, but anyway, they're going to be doing work. And then also, if we can get this easement completed and approved, then we can do the spring break work. And that would be ending hopefully the construction on site. And then the last thing is like the closeout documents. The security gates and fencing, and the kitchens are complete. The security gates and fencing, if you remember, we did approved all 32 at once. So you remember we had that top 32 list. We're 61% complete, so there's 17 in process. We've learned a lot along the way, so already we're starting to plan what the next ones are going to be. With Tolson, we did the parking lot over winter break. And then the two that were left over from the spring, summer that did not get funded with the, I can't think of that word. Adjacent ways. I knew it started with an A. Is Pueblo and Gale. All right. The security window film, the first wave is complete. So that's done. And you remember we were emphasizing the elementary classrooms. And then we had a few other, I think the pre-K Bricta and one other. The E-rate cybersecurity technology has been delayed. The application is being reviewed by the Universal Service Administration, USAC. And as soon as that is forwarded and approved, then they'll get the quotes to me. So that project hasn't started, although we approved it quite a while ago. With the EV pilot and infrastructure, as you guys know, that's a very exciting project. There have been some delays with that as well. If you guys recall, when we did the proposal with all the rebates and all that kind of stuff. And then we upfronted some money and we got 10 pilot buses versus what we originally thought we were going to do 6 initially, but got that additional assistance from TEP, Snyder, et cetera. One of the new switchgear breakers for the charging station needed to be replaced. So they have already ordered that replacement, and that's in process to get it rescheduled. You guys may have gotten a invite because we were wanting to do a celebration, but we don't do celebrations until projects are complete. And so we're looking to have the project complete sometime in February, and tentatively, I believe March 4th is when we're looking at the celebration. But my thoughts is let's get the buses where they're charging, and then we can go from there. And then I did want to report out on marquees. These should have been completed. We had several challenges with marquees because the company that we were using kind of went out of business. Their service arm is no longer in Tucson, and so we had to switch vendors. So we have had some challenges there. The marquees, which we set out to do 20, and we pivoted because we were starting to go off the list of marquees, and then we found that there were some schools that didn't have any marquees. Then we said, okay, we gotta address that first. And so 2 of them that are barely even started, I think I'm waiting on quotes, is for Hudlow and Myers-Goodung. So it's just this whole thing in between vendors has been a bit of a challenge. So believe it or not, even though in December most people are kind of slowing down, we were gearing up. I was present at so many schools, and so many of you, thank you for going to some of these schools. I think it's super powerful when we have people from operations, the Bond Oversight Committee, the governing board. It really just shows how united and together, and how we all really want to understand and listen to the principal and their needs. So thank you for that. So I just wanted to kind of like look back, what did we do since the last VOC meeting? So Line Weaver, Elementary and Miller. We also went to Safford, and look at these people here too. And not everyone, I got everybody there at the same time, so it could be more people. But you can see we had a team that went there. That was a very interesting visit. We kind of got, what's a good word? Surprised by someone sleeping on one of the outside the doors. But I'm in a sense, I'm glad I saw that and we saw that, so we can start addressing it. And our team is working on some things to look at mitigating some of those things. And then this was a more recent one, a bond visit at Saguaro and Santa Rita. Also, Wright, and that was a really good visit as well. Then wanted to let you guys know we already are starting the domestic water line planning meetings. So Choya and Saguaro, we meet every week. So we started that back in December. So we have 4 more to go weekly. So we're in the process of scheduling those with that principal. So if you guys remember, does anybody remember what domestic water lines? You guys had a lot of material. You know 2 of them is Choya and Saguaro. What are the other 4? Okay, take.
Santa Rita, Stafford, Miller, and there's another M one.
Anybody remember? All right, Mission View. Mission View. All right. Our Facebook, it has slowed a little bit, partly because it's been super hard for me to get everything done and focus on doing that. As you guys may know, that I've been down administrative assistant since August. So the newsletter, the Facebook page, the Instagram, the updates, all but the financial stuff I've been doing. So, however, we have 2 offers that we've extended one for the project technical specialist, which is a little bit higher level than administrative assistant, and also a bond project manager. So I'm super excited. I just hope everything, because last time I thought I had it, and then at the last minute, it backed out. I think I got 2 more followers in the last day. So about 178 and then 37 on Instagram. We have the key dates. Q3 has already started for FY 25-26. Of course, we have a bond oversight, and hopefully we'll be also participating in the governing board on January 27th. So I thought, since we have a little bit less on the docket, I was wanting to go over briefly, if we will, Yolanda, the bond financial overview. And I don't know, do you guys look at those reports? No? I can't hear you. So what's super important and to me celebratory is that we have spent $93 million.
Dr. Carter, the financial detail you said?
The summary, the overview. And that says a lot in 21 months. I mean, that is a really huge milestone. And so I want to just make sure you guys look at the report, or if someone asks you a question, how the report works. Can we make it just a tiny bit bigger? Is that possible? I may have to get closer. Try to have a copy. So we, Ben can you raise your hand? He's the accountant. He put together these reports for us. And this way, everybody, we're very transparent for the, for you, and so you can make sure that you understand. So if you look at the year to date here, so first of all, on this column, it has the categories. So that should look very familiar to you guys, the categories in the bond book, okay, on page 5. Then you got your total budget, so you can see how the 480 million, so if you look right here in the orange, that's how much the total bond is. What's important is to look at that year-to-date transaction. Those are the invoices we paid. Then we have our encumbrances and RQs that are in process, so they have not been flipped to a PO yet. But those two columns on year-to-date at the bottom and RQ encumbrances, that equals what we've spent. So when you go look on the bond dashboard, that's where that number comes from. And if you look at, can we go to now the detail report? The detail report shows you everything that we purchased to the penny. And those numbers match your overview. So that's how those numbers come together. So just wanted to make sure you guys are aware. And then at the very beginning, it was asked that I give you guys the actual Excel spreadsheet. So you guys get that separately, not to be shared, but you get that separately. So that's the actual report, so you guys have the raw data. So if we go to the very end of this report, the very end, I think it's 7 pages, so page 7. So that 92 million, you got the project, the school, the PO, the vendor, and the cost. So you have, and you've been getting these reports every month, so I don't know if you're looking at. Now, one thing, we can go back to the overview, that financial one we had a minute ago. We did make an improvement, because we're always looking at doing process improvements. We did break it down a little bit closer to what the bond book says. So it says, say for instance, under access to updated technology, it says active panels. It says Chromebooks. Before we had a more general category, so now it's a little bit more detailed. So if you wanted to see what we spent on AEDs, or, so it's a little bit more specific, so you can kind of trace what we spent money on. Okay. The only other, the 3-year high-level schedule. So we sent this a little early to you. This was a request by the governing board. And I know some of you have asked, what's the schedule and for, 5 years out and all that. Well, 3 years is about as far as we could go. Because again, I don't want to provide bad data, and I want to make sure that the information I'm providing you, the numbers are what they are today. Because one of the issues, as we talked about last time, is that a lot of these estimates are not current. Well, they're not current because it just happened 3 to 4 years ago. But I wanted to give you an idea that the bond is a pie, not a well. So we are spending money, and you want to spend money, right? But we're 20% in of the spending, and part of it too is some of the projects weren't listed, some of the projects are different. So I just want to keep that on you guys' mind. On this draft schedule, and if down at the bottom there's red, I want to read that because I want to. Just so you can stop at any one of those. I want to point this out right here. We put this on each one of these pages. This is a draft, first of all. But the dates The projects, the schools, and the estimates are subject to change based on governing board, bond oversight committee approval, and quotes. So this is a high-level swag, and usually when you provide a schedule, you don't put cost. But this is what I was asked to do, so that's kind of what I've done. So if we go back to the top on this particular report, I just want to kind of explain at the very top, page 1. So what we've done is we have the current year, 25-26. So this is all the items going all the way to the bottom is for 25-26, and the estimated cost. So you would notice on the 25-26, you have a lot of costs because we've gone far in getting approvals. Even though we're in January, we've been approving the items and projects since you guys came back in August. So we have 26-27, so that column goes all the way down. If you go, I think like page 2 or 3, Yolanda, let's go down a little bit more. I'm looking for it's alphabetical order. And this is not priority order. Even the schools are in alphabetical order because, again, we don't know what the price is going to be. Go down one more page. I think it's where it says IGA. Okay. So right here on 26-27, notice there's no cost. So there were projects that I don't have costs yet. So it doesn't mean that if you add all those numbers together, that's what you're going to end up for the year. We know there are going to be a lot of cost in 26-27 on these items with IGA, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. But at this point, I think I would, it's not responsible for me to put numbers because I don't know the numbers yet. So I just want to just kind of explain how the report and what the thought process was behind it. The schools, what we know today, these are the right schools from what we know today, but we're still waiting. If you guys remember, we paid a lot of money for Veritech, which they're in the audience back there, to assess and evaluate our schools and what was needed. I'm working with them to get the information, know what's the priority and what should we be doing now. So as we get that information, we'll keep filling this out, but I wanted to provide the governing board information, and you too, information, because it does help in some ways when you're thinking about, what all were we doing? What's the pattern of things that we're doing? And lastly, I have some stats. As far as on the dashboard, we're showing 221 projects totally complete, totally done. And when I say complete, that means we got closeout documents, everything totally done. We have, in total, over 300 in process in some varying state. Either we're going to get quotes, and actually I don't even put for the dashboard things I'm waiting on quotes, because I want, for soon as the quote's there, then that's when the community will see progress. If I don't have a quote, you're not going to see any visible progress. So that's kind of how I align the dashboard. And we will always have a rolling schedule. So what that means is either we're starting a project, we're executing a project, or we're closing a project. That's just going to happen all the time. I thought that we would be able to have some breaks, and that's not going to happen. So we're always going to have a rolling schedule. We're always going to have something starting, something we're in the process of, and then something we're closing, if that makes sense. And that's all that I had on the project updates. I guess any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Carter. Are there any questions for Dr. Carter? None.
I do, by the way, like the new
Okay.
report that we just went over.
You said what now?
The new report, the 3-year.
Oh,
I like that.
okay.
Seconded. Well,
Well, I spent part of my Christmas break doing it, so I hope you do like it. happy birthday to me.
No, Dr. Carter, I just want to say it's clear you've put a lot of work into this, and so thanks for everything that you've done to get this all articulated. I think it's looking really good too.
And I do want to go on the record. It is a team effort. Like I work with Damon, right hand, and team. So they were like, so the day we got back on January, I think it was 5th, I had a meeting at 10 o'clock, and they were like, who does that? I do, because I got to report out on this. So I do want to say it is a team effort, and I appreciate everyone. I really do. And I think it's amazing that we've done $93 million already and can account for it.
I'll just reiterate everyone's comments and thank you and your team for financial transparency throughout this entire process. I do thank you for that. And I will put forward a motion to approve 4.1 with the bond updates.
I second it. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Moving on. That takes us to approval of Bond Oversight Committee meeting minutes for November 20th. If anybody needs extra time to review those. If not, then I move to approve those minutes. There's
I'll second.
I didn't catch who was, were you? Ms. Bell, seconded by Ms. Bell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on to item 5.01. Dr. Carter, approval to recommend to the governing board the purchase and implementation of the second phase of the investment grade audit.
It may scare some people. One lady told me that it kind of scared her, and I was like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't do that. All right. Okay, and if we can bring up the investment grade audit. You guys may recall that we came before you, man, I can't remember exactly. When did we bring this? Was it April something? May? And a little bit bigger. My eyes, I turned 60 and I'm feeling it. We brought before you the first phase, and so if you looked at the material, it talked about this as being the second of 4 phases. The investment grade audit across Tucson Unified School District to determine energy and water savings opportunities, and the scope is based on requirements for the IGA design and integrated 2023 bond programs. So this is the way to take that 3-year schedule and to really fine tune it and know actual dates, no actual costs. So this, with their help, now not all of the projects obviously are the ones in which they would be doing the assessment. If you look here, under buildings included, it shows the 21 schools totaling 2.27 million square feet will be audited for this particular proposal. And I would ask you to look on page, if we can go to the next page, I believe it has the requirements, the scope of work, go to the next page. Yes, there. Can you guys see that? Can you make it a little bit bigger? I'm trying to make it bigger. How can I make it bigger from this? Okay, thank you. Yes. All right. So this is the things that they'll be evaluating: the mechanical engineering, structural engineering, electrical, so on and so forth. So it's just continuing on, but adding more. Because if you guys recall, we did really emphasize in the first one the HVAC. And so that's right now what we're installing. We got all the quotes for the 15 HVACs, because we kind of pivoted to say that we want to make sure that with the $480 million that HVAC needs are resolved as much as possible. So we're going to have to spend a lot more money than we initially thought, but we're doing smarter, making sure that we're evaluating and making sure what needs to be replaced is replaced. and not just, doing a broad brush. So this is also not a bond funded project. This is going to be coming, Ricky is paying for, I'm not sure what the funding source is. I guess MMO, or I'm not sure, but he's being paid not out of the bond. The reason why we're bringing it to you is because it's emphasizing bond projects. And so I don't bring anything to the governing board unless I bring it here first. So this is more of, the second part of what we've already approved. Any questions?
I have a question. So, thank you for saying it's not part of the bond, because I was going to ask that, but.
Not bond funded.
Right,
But
right.
using bond projects.
So could the outcome of these essentially change the plan if they find that a school that wasn't listed for a particular item on the bond could change?
Yeah, it
what we're
already
doing?
is, because
Okay.
we've already done all the package units we were supposed to do. So now we're going and actually evaluating and making sure that everyone has their HVAC in particular, that's happening and that they don't have issues. The other thing to consider, as I realize, is like, okay, if most of these were bought with the last bond, which was 20 years ago, this bond is 10 years, most of the stuff is going to be end of life anyway. So that's part of the reason. So we've already started using their data, because that's how we know the cost and the schools that we're doing the package units right now. So if you go back to that high-level schedule, the first thing on 25-26 under IGA, those are the ones they identified and their suggestions, if that makes sense.
Are there any other questions for Dr. Carter? No? Mr. Gonzalez?
I'm trying to understand, you mentioned that we've already voted on this, we've approved it, the IGA? So
Yeah, on the
we don't
first,
need to approve the IGA on this item?
the first phase of the 4, you've already approved. This is the second phase of the 4.
Okay, so what we'll be voting on is approving the purchase and implementation of the second phase?
Yes.
Yes? No?
But the purchase isn't coming from the bond.
Yeah,
We're just-
purchase and implementation of the second phase of the IGA. Is that correct?
So, yes, but we're not paying for it. The bond is not paying for it. So when I say the bond is not paying for this proposal and the evaluation for Veritech to do the work. The bond is going to take their recommendation, and then the bond will pay for those HVAC or those recommended enhancements.
No, I think I understand.
Okay. Yeah, it's M&O that's paying for this proposal. So if you go, can we bring this, go to, well, you're saying.
To what?
I don't know. It won't scroll up. Okay, so go
Madam Chair,
go down. Okay, let me see.
I think I understand what we're doing. I'm just trying to be clear on what we're going to be voting on.
I'm trying to get to it. I can't from here. There should be a page that has like the cost on there, and it's like 191. There you go, right there. I guess it's because it's not, the pages aren't exactly aligned. This is not a presentation, really, okay? It's a document. So, Mr. Gonzalez, the cost here, the net cost subtotal for them to do this investigative work is $170,000 plus a contingency equal $191,250. So the bond is not paying for this work to be done. But when they make the recommendation, if we can go to the high-level schedule again, Yolanda, the high-level, 3-year high-level schedule. And if we go down to the part that says IGA and there's costs, those costs the bond is paying for, the actual buying of the materials and installing at the schools. So we're not paying the consultant to do the IGA, but we're paying for the recommended HVAC updates, the package units that they're recommending for us to replace. Does that make sense?
Mr.
I
Gonzalez,
think-
we're
I think
basically
so.
voting for this to go before the board for the
Yeah.
second phase. That's what the vote is for today.
Right, so what I'm trying to clarify in my mind is that we've already voted to approve the IGA, whatever many phases it has. What we're actually voting on here is the approval to purchase and implement the second phase of the investment grade audit. That's what it says here on the agenda. At least that's what I'm understanding. And if
If-
that's the case,
So.
we don't know how much that is because it hasn't been done.
Yeah, so this is just for the proposal. So it's
Okay.
the second phase of the proposal done by them. I can't just take it to, or shouldn't, in my opinion, just take it to the governing board and for them to approve it so they can start doing the work. I'm always coming to the BLC first. Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah. I
And
understand.
honestly, I was confused by it too, because to me, if you do one of four, it all goes together because you're expecting it. But when I started to try to get the POs and get them to do the work, I was told that we have to, each
Yeah, I
time,
understand. I just
go
don't want
to
to be
each
in a
fa-
position to voting on something that I don't know what it is, and it hasn't been figured out yet what the estimates are going to be, so why am I voting on it in the first place?
yeah, it's
That-
just for the
that's the reason why.
proposal. It's just for that, for us to move this on to the governing board, for them to pay that 191,000 so they can do the second phase of work. And then after they evaluate, they'll give us a recommendation, and then we go do the work and pay for, what was recommended.
Can I ask a clarifying question maybe after, like, as to what Mr. Gonzalez is talking about? So after they give their recommendations to you, like, we'll hypothetically approve phase 2 and then they give their recommendations to you. You'll come back to the Bond Oversight Committee with the recommendations for approval for the cost of all of those things later on?
Right, which is what we did for the 15. So you guys had already, those 15 that were up there, you guys already voted on those. And then I moved forward. So after they do a recommendation, I'll come up here again and say, hey, everybody, this is what they recommended, this is what we want to do, you approve that. So it's kind of a two-part process. We're really 8 since we got to do it 4 times.
Any further questions? Okay, if not, I will motion to approve to recommend to the governing board the implementation of second phase of the investment grade audit to determine energy and water saving opportunities across the district.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I actually had one question, if I may, before we
Mr.
go to
Norquist.
vote. I just wanted to ask Dr. Carter for a clarification about the one line, building automation system design. Can you talk any more about what that specific line involves?
You wanna
Or
talk something?
anyone?
So you just want to know what that
Well, what?
evaluation is going to consist of?
Yeah, just what it means, building automation system design, what is meant by that.
Sure. Again, the building automation piece is a component with the HVAC package units, the controls piece that basically controls the unit so that we have a central location to monitor the temperatures so that
Right.
there's a consistent feed throughout the district.
Okay, all right, thank you, Mr. Ballesteros.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by myself, seconded by Ms. Arvizu. Ms. Barbara, can we please do a roll call vote?
Catherine Arvizu,
Yes.
Don Bell,
Yes.
Owen Bro Sanders,
Yes.
Cindy Coleman,
Yes.
Lindsay Escalona,
Yes.
Luis Gonzalez,
Aye?
Red Morrow,
Yes.
Raghu Nandan,
Yes.
Peter Norquist,
Abstain, and I want to mention it's because of the one line that I just asked about. I'm fine with everything else in the package.
Tiffany Rogers,
Yes.
Erica Miranda Carter.
Yes. Motion passes with 1 abstain. Moving on to item 5.02, review of quarter 3 through quarter 4 fiscal year 2025-26 bond projects and priorities. Dr. Carter?
Okay, and this is really a correction on my part, so we can bring that up, specifically the detail report. So you guys already approved security film for the second phase of that. What I made a mistake in is I had the right dollar amounts, but I had the wrong schools. So I went back and corrected that. And so to be able to do that, I have to make sure that everything is in alignment. So as they're bringing it up, the ones that we still need to approve, we did one I had correct, and it's when I was editing, I probably got distracted and didn't fill in the schools correctly. So on the detailed one, if we could go to, I think it, yeah. So the schools that it includes is C.E. Rose, Dietz, Duffy Community Center, McGee, McCorkle, Pueblo Gardens, Robert Naylor, Robbins, Utterback, Wakefield, Sabino, Saguaro, and Santa Rita. So again, you guys had approved this, but I didn't have the right schools on here. So it's just a correction.
I motion to approve 5.02.
Second.
Tiffany, yeah.
Motion by Ms. Alviso, seconded by Ms. Rogers. Can we do a roll call vote? Ms. Barboa?
Catherine Arvizu,
Yes.
Don Bell,
Yes.
Owen Brosanders,
Yes.
Cindy Coleman,
Yes.
Lindsay Escalona,
Yes.
Luis Gonzalez,
Aye.
Red Morrow,
Yes.
Raghu Nandan,
Yes.
Peter Nordquist,
Yes.
Tiffany Rogers,
Yes.
Erica Miranda Carter.
Yes, motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Carter. Appreciate all the work you've done. So moving on now to 6.01, discussion regarding the appointment of Bond Oversight Committee members. So most of us here, with the exception of Mrs. Escalona and Mr. Bill Sanders, our 2-year term will be up next month in February. So we are requesting that those of you who would like to continue on, and even if you don't want to continue on, if you can please email Ms. Borboa and Ms. Hernandez, copy myself and Ms. Ekstrom as well on there. I believe the date we said was next Friday. I didn't write it down. So 23rd, right? The 23rd, if you can please email letting us know, yes, I will continue on. No, this is where I say goodbye. I thank you all it's been a pleasure working with all of you guys. It's been amazing. Included in that email, if you can let us know if you are interested in either chair or vice chair, or if you have any recommendations for anyone. Do you have anything else, Ms. Barboa, that you'd like to include to that?
No, I don't.
No? Is there any discussion? And Ms. Ekstrom? No? You guys will just post that, right? Once you get the note, how many positions will be open? Okay. If there's no further discussion, no questions, comments, that's it.
Is the next meeting our last meeting? Is that what you're saying?
It is. Well,
February. Okay.
if you are not continuing on the 2-year terms, yeah, it'll be next meeting. Okay, so that's not an action item, so we will go ahead and move on to future meeting dates. That was February 19th, we said, right? Yes, Thursday, February 19th. Yeah, that's it. I don't have any more further questions. Sorry, my brain went somewhere else for that moment. So we'll go ahead and adjourn at 1:57. I have to take motion, right? Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'm so sorry, guys. See, reasons for a new chair. So all in favor, say
Aye.
Aye.
thank you, Cindy. Any opposed? All righty then. So we will go ahead and adjourn at 1:52. My mistake. Thank you all.
See you, man. You good?
That was a quick one. That was as quick as the November.
Man, you're getting good inside an hour.
Yeah.